Hello, my name is Russell Myers, independent for U.S. President for 2024. We are in the midst, once again, of a big drama about the U.S. Raising the U.S. debt ceiling. And I get very tired of these dramas because that is all they are. It is performative theater between the two parties, the two major parties. There is no question that the debt ceiling is going to be raised. It absolutely will be raised. Otherwise, come June, the U.S. government is going to be out of money. Most people understand certain parts of this, that federal employees will not be paid. Service members will not be paid. Uh, Road construction, for federal roads, they will not be paid. But this goes much further. The Forestry Service, we're heading into wildfire season. Imagine that we cannot pay people to fight wildfires in national parks, which number in the dozens every single year, or possibly hundreds. FEMA, if there is a natural disaster, FEMA would not be able to respond. The workers aren't getting paid. They can't buy supplies, bottled water, fuel to get to the emergency, etc., etc. The Indian Health Service, they would not be, they would have to shut down. The nurses and doctors go home, you're not getting paid. They couldn't buy medications to treat patients, and people would die. But what most people don't understand is that this would completely crash the U.S. economy. For one thing, U.S. treasuries would be unfunded. Think about that. No matter who is holding them, domestically or foreign, if they wanted to cash in their treasuries, they would be denied. We would default on U.S. Treasury bonds. The government could not issue new treasuries to continue to fund the government. It would not be possible. A major danger with this is that on the international stage, the dollar would be devalued against other currencies, which would lead almost instantaneously to hyperinflation. When a government cannot pay its debts, then you wind up with hyperinflation. Consider Weimar Germany in the 1920s. They defaulted on debt. They wound up with inflation of over 4,000,000%. People were going to work, getting paid by their employer, handing the money over to their wives in wheelbarrows, actually filling up wheelbarrows. Of course, they didn't have electronic payment systems, so they had to use physical cash, but taking wheelbarrows so that they could go to the grocery store and buy food early in the day, because by the afternoon, prices had risen several hundred or 1,000% more. That's what hyperinflation looks like. Now, I don't think that we would experience anything quite that dramatic, but I wouldn't rule it out. So This is all theater. This is political posturing. And it is useless. It is pointless. I agree that that the U.S. government spends, well, too much on certain things. I don't think that federal government spending is too high. I think that where that money is spent is inappropriate. It does not, most of it does not benefit the people of this country. As things are, a considerable portion of the federal tax budget goes toward the military. Over half of the discretionary budget is spent on the military, and the sitting president has already submitted a request for an increase to defense spending for 2024. In the past 2 years, the Pentagon budget has increased by $100 billion in 2 years. Is that keeping us safer? No. Do you feel any safer? No. Corporate subsidies, tax breaks for the wealthy. We're spending too much on the wrong things and not collecting enough from those at the very top, who, if we increased their tax burden by 50%, they would still be at the very top. There's all this debate about, well, the wealthiest pay the most of the taxes, but that is in absolute numbers. That is not in percentage. The average millionaire and billionaire pays a lower tax percentage than the average worker does. If you are earning $30,000 a year, you are paying a higher percentage in taxes than Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, etc. So that is a false equivalency. That is a straw man argument. And we keep going further and further into debt. The higher the debt goes, the more of that debt goes into paying the interest on that debt. As of right now, we pay about 15 or 16% of the taxes collected toward interest. Right now, we're sitting at $31.7 trillion for the national debt. And it is rising so quickly that within 1 to 2 months, it will exceed $32 trillion. And what are we getting out of it? Are we getting more jobs that support people at a living wage? No, we're not. In fact, the number of federal jobs have basically decreased, unless you count contractors for the military, for the intelligence community. Those jobs keep on rising in number, but again, we're paying corporations to do this. We're outsourcing everything. And the more you outsource, the more steps that you put in there, the more levels to it, the less secure our information becomes. So we wind up spending more and becoming less secure and paying out more and more. The same people doing the same jobs could work directly for the federal government earning the same pay, and yet we would be spending less. But those jobs do nothing to improve our communities. They don't improve health care. They don't improve infrastructure. They do not improve anything at all. They don't provide for food security, nothing like that. So we need a complete revision of the U.S. federal budget system. Think about that word, revision. It means we have to take a completely different view. We cannot keep doing what we have been doing, which has failed, and expect different results. As it is, these dramas cause a loss of trust in the U.S. dollar in the international community. You have probably heard about the de-dollarization which is occurring. More and more countries are moving away from the dollar for international trade. They are choosing to trade in their native currencies. Many of them are trading with China and yuan. You've got Brazil, Iran, India, Russia, all of these countries that are major producers of commodities that we need, they are choosing to move away from the dollar, which drives the value of the dollar down. The more money we keep on printing, the more it devalues the dollar. We cannot keep doing this. At some point, we have to pay off our debt. And we have to take steps that are going to help our own people at the same time. This has to be concurrent. And there is absolutely no effort, and there has been no effort for the last 20 plus years to move in that direction. And we are moving further away from that direction. And we need to change that. But it's not going to happen under either of the major parties. You want to vote for millionaires that are part of the two-party system and expect change? Then you are doing exactly the same thing. You are continuing to do the same thing over and over and expecting different results. And it is not going to happen. The people that sign pledges to a party are going to be loyal to the party, not to you. If they are millionaires, they are going to support millionaires. They became millionaires. Maybe they inherited it. That is a current, candidate. He comes from a family that has been extremely wealthy for generations. Do you think he's going to make decisions which are going to change any of that? No. No. And you've got others that have become millionaires through the current system. Do you think they're going to want to change that system? No, they are not. So, we are at a danger point right this minute, and the only way we're going to change it, which 2024 may be too late, what is going to happen between now and November of next year? We have no idea, or January of 2025 when the next president takes office. Are any changes going to take place? Have any changes taken place, or is it all just talk? It's all talk. It is all talk. That's all it is. If you want talk, then vote for people that are just going to talk. I'm in favor of action. Anyway, stop paying attention to all the drama. Yes, the debt ceiling will be raised, but at what cost? At what cost? When certain entities start talking about reducing federal spending, look at what they want to reduce spending on. Is it spending less money on the military? No, they're still going to increase the Pentagon budget. They're still going to continue with corporate welfare. They're still going to continue the tax breaks for the wealthy. They're not going to help you. They have no interest in helping you, period. Share this video. Talk about these subjects. If you can afford it, please donate whatever you can to help expand this campaign, and I will catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.